Welcome back on the show. In this edition, we'll be discussing the Brighton game, Chelsea versus Brighton game, and we have a very special guest in the building today. OOP, big Chelsea fan. He has Instagram page and Twitter page, TikTok page. I'm not sure if he has YouTube, but you guys can go follow him on all those pages. We'll put the handles there. And so, OOP, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Just I'm chilling.
Yeah, great to have you. Great to have you. Thank you for joining us, for taking time out of your busy day to join us. So we're going to talk about the Brighton game, but obviously before that, I want to hear what you think about the Newcastle game. So we lost 4-1 to Newcastle. So where do you think it went wrong for us in that game?
Well, okay. Well, the issue, or where I think it went wrong for Chelsea, was that Chelsea did not just have that intensity. We lacked the intensity. That was where we lost the game. Because if you watched the first half, we were able to somewhat match their intensity. We're not able to fully match it, but at least we were there. We're still, when they were asking questions, we were providing answers. But immediately the second half started, we just couldn't provide answers to the questions that they were asking. In fact, if you ask me, I will tell you that the set of players that played the first half, they are totally different from the set of players that played the second half. That's just what I feel, because I was watching the game when Isak scored that goal, his first shot on target for Newcastle, and Cucurella was playing him outside. I was like, yeah, well, no problem. I believe that we could get a reply, we could get a goal. And Sterling scored that free kick, wonderful free kick, by the way. Sterling scored that. I was like, okay, yeah, we are level. There's still something for Chelsea in this game. Then somehow we ended the first half with a draw. Then immediately second half started, I was like, what's going on here? That was what it was in my head. What's going on here? Because Newcastle are a team that press. They press for fun. They just press, and like they press. Even I don't know if you watched that the first leg that they played against PSG.
Yeah.
That's just their gameplay. That's their identity. So Chelsea going into that game and not providing answer to that pressing, because I watched the Dortmund game. And the reason why Dortmund were able to actually get past Newcastle was because they were able to provide an answer to the press that Newcastle were giving. And they were able to play through the press, use their technical players and all. But for Chelsea, we had the technical players. We have Kupama, we have Enzo Fernandez, we have Rhys James. We had Rhys James and all. Even before the second yellow card, the red card, we had Rhys James and all. But what we lacked was just intensity. If we were just able to match that intensity, I believe the game would have gone Chelsea's way. So if you ask me, I would say intensity. We just did not have that intensity that they provided, that they came with in the second half. The first half, we were able to answer them, but the second half, it was nothing to write home about.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So going into the Brighton game now, Brighton obviously is another very difficult team, especially for us recently in the Premier League. How do you think we should approach this game against Brighton?
Well, for me, I believe the way we should approach the game is character, basically character. Because right now we are coming off the back of a very heavy defeat. 4-1 is an heavy defeat. There's nothing. 4-1 it's disgraceful. It's a heavy defeat. So we just have to come into that game with a very, very high level of character, and we have to also be disciplined. We have to be very disciplined, because if we come into the Brighton game with the same shabbiness that we played that second half with, because in my head, I don't want to say Chelsea played the entire game in badly or poorly. No, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. What I would agree with is that Chelsea played the second half poorly, but the first half we played well. If not for some miss, Chelsea, I don't know what's wrong. We tend to miss chances for fun this season. I don't know if anybody has checked it, but before the Newcastle game, Chelsea had created, I think, 27 big chances this season. Then they had missed 24 big chances this season. That will tell you how crazy it is. Then even in the Newcastle game, we missed. I think I can count my head. I think about 2 chances. There was one that's still sticking to my head right now. That one too that Sterling did with Nicholas Jackson. That one too played that. Instead of Nicholas Jackson to take that shot one time, he was having a lot of touches. That's another chance he missed. So if we are going to the Brighton game, first off, our character, we have to come with a high level of character, high level of discipline, because we are not going to go into that game and going to we're not going to. Brighton is not a type of team that are going to allow you get free when you make mistakes. They will punish you for your mistakes. They will push you
Yeah.
to make mistakes, and they will punish you for that mistake. So when we are going into that, the first thing first is we need to avoid silly mistakes. We need to avoid silly. Everybody needs to be on their toes. Like everybody from the defensive, like from the not even the same, from the goalkeeper to the strikers or to the forward line. Everybody needs the goalkeeper, the defense, the midfield, the forward line. They have to be on their toes. And then secondly, we need to take our chances because even in the first half, there was one chance that Nicholas Jackson missed. I can't remember this, but I know there was one chance that he missed in the first half. That I think the game was 1-1 then. There was a chance that he missed. I can't really remember now. The only one that comes to my head is the one with Sterling. That was in the second half, I think. Yeah, that was the second half. But there was a chance that I missed in the first half. So if we are going into that Brighton game, we need to take those chances. We need to convert those chances because look at all the games that we've lost this season. Look at there was a game that Noni Madueke hit the bar. I think it was against Aston
I think
Villa
it was
or
it was
Nottingham.
Brentford.
Oh, yes, Brentford. Yeah, sorry, Brentford. It was Brentford. Madueke hit the bar. Then there were lots of chances even before and after Madueke. Then all of a sudden, Brentford won the game 2-0.
Yeah.
2-0. And if you watch that game, you see that Chelsea had opportunity to bury that game in the first half. Then even the Aston Villa game that we lost 1-0 again, the same story. Nottingham Forest that we lost 1-0, Awoniyi to Elanga, the same story. So if we are coming into the if we are going into the what's it called, the Brighton game, at least we need to show a very high level of discipline, and then we need to convert our chances. We can't go there and start missing chances again because if I'm watching that game, if I realize that okay, maybe in the first 20 minutes, first 25 minutes, I see Chelsea missing a lot of chances, I'll be like, oh God, we've lost this one again. That's what comes to my head. I don't like to when I watch Chelsea and I see that they start missing, we are pressing because when you watch the way Chelsea play under Pochettino, we actually have an identity. That's why sometimes I laugh at when rival fans or people try to make us say, what are Chelsea doing? I just laugh and say, mind, I'm like, you guys are just being funny right now. Let me use that word, being funny, because right now Chelsea has an identity. The problem that Chelsea has is just we lack clinical forwards. We lack clinical forwards because if we had clinical forwards, there are games that we've lost this season that we would either end with a draw or a victory. We would not lose those games. So the problem that we are having is just clinical forwards. We are lacking clinical forwards. Sometimes Sterling comes into the game and he's at 100%. Sometimes you are just like, what Sterling, what was wrong today? So when we are going to the Brighton game, in my head, I made a video for the Newcastle game. I was like, the Sterling will play a very major role in determining if we win Newcastle. If he can actually get past what's his name, Kieran Trippier.
Yeah.
And if you watch that game, he was not really able to do much against Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier was sort of found a way to stop Raheem Sterling, and that was one of the reasons why we lost the match. Because if you watch Chelsea, the Manchester City game, Raheem Sterling was on fire. He literally was just running riots around Walker. Watch the Luton game that we won. I think 3-0 or 3-1. I think 3-0. I don't know if that was 3-1.
3-0.
Yeah,
3-0.
3-0. Raheem Sterling was on fire. So if Raheem Sterling can come to that Brighton game and he's on form, he's on fire, then we have a shot at winning that game. But if Raheem Sterling comes and he doesn't turn up, there's nothing for us. So for me, I believe this thing, I've mentioned 3 things. 1, character. We need to have a very high level of character, a very high level of discipline. Number 2, our forwards need to be clinical. But our forwards, I'm talking about Nicholas Jackson, obviously. And I'm a big fan of Nicholas Jackson. That's what's frustrating me. Like, I have hyped that guy. I hyped him. I called him Drogba regen. And I still believe in him. No doubt. And most times I get the stick for it. Like, I get some kind of funny comments and all that. But I still believe in him that he's going to turn out good. But if Nicholas Jackson can come out, at least just be like 70% clinical. I'm not even asking for 100%. If they give you 5 chances, utilize like 2 or 3. Just utilize 2 or 3 and we are fine. Then lastly, Raheem Sterling, I believe, because Raheem Sterling is definitely going to start. There's nobody that I don't think we are going to enter that game. There's no game that we are going to play right now that Raheem Sterling will not start.
Yeah, so, I was going to get to that too. And is there anybody on the bench? Anybody on the bench from the last game that you would put in the starting level for the Brighton game?
in the starting line for the Brighton game. Anybody?
Yeah.
Well, for me, well, it depends. It depends. Personally, I would if I were Mauricio Pochettino, I would not go into the Brighton game with Thiago Silva. I know that sparks a lot of outrage or a lot of controversy most times. When you say, don't get me wrong, Thiago Silva is still our best centre back. There's no doubt about it. No what's it called? There's no arguments there. No dispute, nothing. But then again, watch the way Chelsea are playing. Thiago Silva cannot really offer what the way we are supposed to play. Because if you watch Mauricio Pochettino wants to play a high press, a
Mhm.
high line with defense. He wants to play a high line with defense. But Thiago Silva cannot play that high line. He's 39 years old. He doesn't have that. He does not have those legs. Does not have those legs to actually do all those things. So if
Yeah.
there's one person that will put the bench, if I'll put Thiago Silva on the bench. I will start with maybe Disasi and who is this other guy?
Badiashile.
There's other there's
Badiashile
other
or
guy.
Cowell.
Yeah,
Cowell.
and another thing is Badiashile. You know, Badiashile, he actually had a terrible game against Newcastle. I think it was the reason for the second goal also. I cannot remember now because I'm trying to, even though I'm trying to forget, but there are some things that are still stuck in my head from that game
Yeah.
because it still hurts me up to now. But I don't know. But if there's one person I would want to put in the bench is Thiago Silva. Then in the midfield, I don't think I will put anybody in the bench because there's a lot of talks right now about Conor Gallagher and whatnot. But for me, I don't think I will put for this Brighton game. I don't. Christopher Nkunku would have been my go-to, but I don't think
He's
he's
still
even
not
fit.
fit. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he's maybe we can see him as a sub in the
Yeah.
Brighton game, but I don't think he's fit enough to start.
I don't
So
think we should rush him at all.
I don't think we should rush him. No, there's no need. We should not rush him because Chelsea has had their own share of injuries, and it's enough. We've suffered injuries enough. So
Yeah.
let's take things easy. Then for the forward line, I will not change anybody in the forward line. I will still start with Sterling and Jackson. Still start with Sterling and Jackson. I think we play a 4-3-3. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a last forward line that I'm missing now. Who was the last forward line that
Palmer.
started for Chelsea? Eh?
Palmer.
Yeah, does Palmer actually play? Palmer. Palmer is a very confusing person. When you try to look at it, is he really playing that forward? Because
Yeah.
most times it's tricky. Because if he's playing that forward, Luis James will not be having that opportunity to overlap and do all those things. I think he actually cuts inside most times. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like to stress myself on all those technical stuff. When
Yeah.
it's becoming a lot, I just leave it at that. But I don't think he's playing that forward line fully.
Yeah. I agree with you.
He's
I agree
playing
with you.
midfield. He's
Yeah.
cutting in. He's cutting in from
Yeah.
midfield. That's the way he's playing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I hear you. And then I was going to go to Jackson that you said is you're a big fan of him. Would you?
Yeah.
There are rumors about Osimhen coming in January. Let's not even say Osimhen. Is there any other striker that you would trade him with at the moment?
Yeah. Right now, I would trade him with Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney, easy. I'll trade him with Ivan Toney, easy. No, like no hesitation. No, I'm not thinking twice. I mean, if it's available, I take Ivan Toney. I trade him with Ivan Toney.
Okay. So I have a 20 for Jackson.
Yeah.
All right. So you talked about our fixtures earlier in the season. So we played teams like West Ham, Luton, Bournemouth, Forest, Villa, and Liverpool earlier in the season. And Liverpool was like
Yeah.
the toughest game we faced.
Yeah.
But out of all these fixtures, we were not able to get the desirable results. Like we're supposed to be winning most of those games. In your own point of view, do you think that's down to the coach or is that down to the players?
Well, in my own point of view, I feel if I were to, it's on both. It's on both. It's on both. Because we cannot. I'm not the type that will shit a party or try to like throw another party down and shit the party. I believe it's good, but for me, majority of the blame rests on the players. It rests on the players actually. It rests on the players because if you notice, we have this problem playing low blocks. That's where our problem is. We have that problem playing low blocks. Once a team sets up in a low block, it's just like Chelsea they are just clueless. We don't have an answer to
Yeah.
that. We now start doing sideway passes. We start moving from one flank to the other. Just before you know, we pass to the midfield. From the midfield, we go to the left side, back to the midfield, go to the right side. We just keep on alternating it and all that. So we don't have the answer for low blocks. That's the reason. That's the first. And the reason why we don't have the answer for low block, we can blame it on the coach and we can blame it on the players because even when we play low blocks, we still have opportunities to bury the game. There is no game that we have played this season that we did not have opportunities to actually win, that we did not have opportunities to score. Let me not use the word win. Let me use the word score. That we did not have opportunities to score. There's no game that we went into that you said that Chelsea did not see opportunity to score at least 2 goals. In every of our game, even the ones that we lost, even the Newcastle game that we lost 1-1, we had opportunity to score at least 2. Even before they started winning 2-1, even when the scoreline was 1-1, we had opportunity to score. Nicolas Jackson had like 2 to 3 opportunities to score, but he couldn't find the back of the net. Against Brentford, Noni Madueke hit the bar. There was another, I think there was another chess player again that had another shot, but we were not able to take it. So then again, we cannot really blame Mauricio Pochettino because come on, the job of the coach is to actually coach the team, to create chances, coach the team that to try to find a way to play to create chances. The coach cannot step into the game and put the ball in the back of the net. No, he can only tell you, he can only set up the team to play. Okay, we are playing in this social formation. This is how you should line up out of possession. This is how you should line up in possession. This is how you should line up during this thing. Cover for your man, or you are marking this on. You can only give instructions. And when these players follow the instructions, at the end of the day, it rests solely on the players to find the back of the net. Because we can play. Enzo Fernandez can release a very terrific pass from deep midfield, and it finds Nicolas Jackson. Nicolas Jackson, when you put the ball in the back of the net, he does not do that. Will you blame Enzo Fernandez or will you blame Mauricio Pochettino? No, the blame rests on Nicolas Jackson. Check this out. Yeah. So when people say that Mauricio Pochettino, I don't blame Mauricio Pochettino honestly, and I this is weird for me because I always blame coaches. I'm always quick to blame coaches. But when I watch Chelsea play, when I look at statistics, when I use my eye test, because most times when you tell people some kind of statistics, they for instance, non-expected penalty goals this season. Do you know that Chelsea are ahead of Arsenal on that chart? We are like when you go and check the chart, Chelsea are expected to score more non-penalty goals so far this season. Chelsea have been expected to score more penalty goals than Arsenal.
We're creating more chances than them.
But yet Arsenal is top. Chelsea is 10th. Chelsea has created more big chances than Arsenal this season. Yet Arsenal is 4th, Chelsea is 10th. You understand? So when you look at it, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that is also affecting Brentford. Brentford has created, I think, the same number of chances as Chelsea. That is prior to this game week 13. I've not really checked this out after game week 13, but I'm talking about prior to game week 13 now. Chelsea they have the same number of chances, but Brentford are also on the same level as Chelsea. Why? Because I watch Brentford game, I'm like, these guys are missing. They are missing Ivan Toney, because there's some chances that you don't even need to beg Ivan Toney. He's finding the back of the net or he's getting an assist easy, or what's become the worst is getting a penalty. You know that's the least that's going to happen. So all those, we cannot underestimate the value of clinical forwards, and that is one thing that what's his name Liverpool has going for them. See, when Liverpool play, Liverpool creates a lot of chances. Nunes misses chances, just like Nicolas Jackson. He missed both of them chances, but then Liverpool have Salah. Liverpool have Luis Diaz. Liverpool has Jota. So even if Nunes is missing form, you can say that okay, Salah will bring something for us. Salah will find the back of the net. Okay, maybe Salah is now this thing. You are like, okay, Luis Diaz will get something for us. Look at the game against Luton Town. Luis Diaz came for the bench to salvage a point for Liverpool. But at Chelsea, we don't have those type of players. There's nobody that you can actually rely on and say, okay, let me call this person to come and score goals for me at Chelsea. And that is a key reason why Chelsea are where they are today. There's nobody. Who do you want to call? Raheem Sterling that might be on his off day whenever this, unless you just be, anytime you are playing Raheem Sterling, you just be hoping that he's on the top form. Nicolas Jackson, I don't even want to talk about him. I've talked about him too much in this episode that I'm starting to have an headache, and I don't want to talk about him. Which other person? There's no other person, and that is the only person that could have saved us is out injured. Christopher Nkunku is out injured, and there's nothing Mauricio Pochettino can do. There's nothing he can do. So I just feel somehow, the players are more to blame. If I want to be honest, the players are more to blame, and that's just the way I feel.
Okay, well said, well said. For the Brighton game, can you give us a score prediction? What do you think the game is
A
going
score
to end?
prediction. I don't I one thing is certain. I don't know. I cannot really give a score prediction right now. But one thing that I know is going to happen is Brighton are going to score. It's not going to be a clean sheet. It's not no
Yeah.
Brighton are going to score. So it's going to be down to who outscores the other person. Brighton are
Okay.
going to score. And I think Chelsea are actually going to score. I think Chelsea are actually going to score in the Brighton game. So for that Brighton game, I believe it's going to be a case of who is willing to outscore the other person. That's the way that's what I can't really predict. I can't really give a score because right now my confidence come on off the back of the international break. I was so sure of Chelsea. I made several videos. I was like Chelsea. In fact, I was like Chelsea are going to what is it called, overtake Manchester United. That was how sure I was. But then the Newcastle game happened, and I was like, what? I still have that belief that Chelsea are going to overtake Manchester United. I believe that Chelsea are a better team than Manchester United currently. I
Mm.
believe, but currently the tables does not the EPL table does not agree with me because they are system Chelsea system. But when I watched both, I mean, I was just watching the UCL game before this episode and all. And when you watch, you just see that the only thing different is I am what's their name Manchester United. They know how to take their chances. If you watch the Everton game, look at the Everton game. They did not really play better than Everton. They just buried their chances. Martial got a chance to score, scored. Garnacho did that wonderful wonder goal, very wonderful wonder goal. Then who scored the second goal again? Can't remember the person that scored the second goal. But I know
Rashford
it was
scored a
two.
penalty.
Yes, again the penalty. Yes, Rashford scored the penalty. But I want to focus on Martial and Garnacho because look at the simple. Martial scored a simple goal. As simple as that goal is, I don't have belief that any Chelsea forward line can score that type of goal. As simple as it is, when I watch Chelsea score, I don't believe. So that's just the problem. And I believe that the game with Brighton is going to be it's going to be goals for both sides. It's going to be a case of can you outscore me? Can you answer me? Because both teams, Brighton, they don't set up in a low block. They are not even
Yeah.
there to.
We'll
Deserby
get
is not there
chances.
to do low block with you. Deserby is there to let's play ball. So you are not going
Yeah.
to say Deserby is not looking for a 1-0 win. He's not that
Yeah.
type of person that scores one goal and this thing. He just wants to play. That's his own tactic. Unlike
Yeah.
clubs like Brentford and West Ham that set up in a low block and want to like take counters and they're okay with 1-0. But Zerbi from the kickoff, he wants to dominate with possession, chances created, goals, and all that. So that's why I'm like both, and that's where Chelsea play too. Chelsea too want to dominate possession. Chelsea
Yeah.
want to dominate. Chelsea want to deal with the ball. So both teams they are going to come out to play. They are not going to set up any low block nonsense and else. So that's why I believe that both teams is going to be goals for both teams. But the team that will come out victorious is actually the team that can outscore the other.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah. Totally agree with you on that. So this season, the way this season is going, is it right for us to say it's Champions League or bust for Pochettino?
I don't think that's right for us to say Champions League is a must for Pochettino. If they wanted Champions League to be a must for Pochettino, then they should have not signed inexperienced young boys. Because when you come on, let's be honest, let's look at the Chelsea squad. When did what's his name? Nicolas Jackson start playing what is it called now?
Professional football.
Professional football. When he start playing professional football, I don't think he has played up to 3 years professional football. They are young and they are inexperienced. I was having this conversation on the Twitter space with some Chelsea fans, and they were arguing with me. I was like, there's a difference between being young and being inexperienced. For
Yeah.
instance, Saka is young. Saka is a young player, but the amount of experience that Saka
Yeah.
has been playing for like
Yeah.
almost 5 seasons now, 4 to 5
Yeah.
seasons in the
Yeah.
EPL. So
Yeah.
even if he's young, he has that level of experience. There are some things that just have to come with experience. So if the Chelsea board or whoever, the owners or whoever that is setting all those unrealistic, what is it called now, targets for Mauricio Pochettino, if they wanted to do that, then they should have not signed youngster. They should have not signed Nicolas Jackson. They should have went all out to get someone like Victor Osimhen. They should have not signed Kupama that has not played up to 100 professional games in the senior appearances for Manchester City. They should have signed this guy Openda or that guy that played for Leipzig. You could have gone for all those guys, not going for young. You don't assemble a squad of young players and expect that this is not done that way. not done that way. So I don't believe. If we even make top six, Pochettino did a very wonderful job with this squad. I'm not even kidding right now. If we make top six this season, Pochettino will try. He tried. They should give him chieftaincy. I will personally ask that they give him chieftaincy title in my village. He tried.
Okay. So yeah, so there's a very controversial one I want to ask you now. A video
Yeah.
that kind of went viral when you were talking about Kopama being one
Well,
of the
well,
best. Go
actually,
ahead.
actually, that video was just me hyping Kupama. I did not really. I just made that video. What was I doing that day? I was just sitting in front of my camera and stuff. I was just like, let me hype Kopama. I made that video just not from a place of malicious intent or say I want to garner engagement. I don't want to garner engagement. Personally, I don't really care about engagement. I don't really care about those things. I just post whatever comes to my head. Post whatever comes to my head, and that's that. So the video was just in fact, I posted the video. Let's say I posted the video today, and it started trending like almost 4 days later, 3 or 4 days later. I had even forgotten that I
Yeah.
made such video. So when my phone was blowing up with sort of a notification, and I was like, what's happening? Because it was weird for me, and I saw that I was not looking. I was seeing the notification, but I was not looking at the video. I was not really playing the video. I was like, what is even in this video? I read the caption. I could not remember making that video. Then I watched it. I was like, oh, this video and that. Well, I believe them. It was just me hyping the players, and hyping Kopama and all. It was never meant to actually do a comparison with other OGs or other greats. Definitely, they are better 21 years old than Kopama at 21 and all. But I think where the problem was, I probably did not use the right words. That was where I missed it, because the this thing I was trying to portray was that I had not I don't think the EPL has seen a 21-year-old like burst into the scene the way Kupama busted into the scene. Now, when I say that, what I mean is I'm not saying that like a player that is 21 years old and he has not really had any like limelight before being 21, and he just sort of had his chance at 21 years old. For instance, now I can say Hazard is like the one of the best 25-year-old that I'm talking about that maybe has played football or something. Now, when I said that, it's different from what I was trying to say. Now,
Yeah.
when for the Hazard one that I just made, the Hazard reference that I just made mention, what I'm trying to say is Hazard is the best 25-year-old. I don't care about Messi, I don't care about Cristiano Ronaldo and all that. But for the Kopama, what I was trying to say was Kopama at 21 years old, there was no other player that I have seen that came into the scene at that age 21. Because all other players, Rooney came before 21. Owen came before 21. Cristiano came before 21. So that was where the issue was. And then the whole and when this type of things, when they go viral, you just have to like take it up your chin. You just have to take the
Yeah.
slap or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
or the consequences
Yeah.
of whatever you said and all.
Yeah.
So I just like there was no need to explain and all. So I just let it slide. But it was just me hyping Kopama. I love
Yeah.
Kopama. It was just
Yeah.
me hyping. It was not really a comparison. If you notice, I did not mention any other player name in that video, because it was not a case of Kopama versus maybe Bukayo Saka or Kopama versus Cristiano Ronaldo. It was just me saying Kopama is good. I like Kopama. Like they bust my head. That kind of thing. All those kind of hype. That was just
Yeah.
what I was trying to do in that video. I was not trying to make any comparison. But then the video blew up, and I was like, wow, wow, wow. That was just what I was just like, wow, what's this? Because in my head, I'm like, this is a wrong video to blow up. Because then, up to now, when I talk, people say, you don't know football. I'm just like, most of the time, I'm just like, okay, no problem. I was like, okay, if I don't know football, then no wahala. Then, in
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
initially, I went to the because it blew up more on Twitter. I went to the Twitter, and I was like, make una not vex. But then I was like, no, no need. They've roasted me enough. There's no need to apologize. Let everybody. And then
Yeah.
I deleted the apology because I felt it was. I wanted to delete. My initial plan was to delete it. That was my initial plan. But then, with the way it was now going and going and going, I was like, no, anything that wants to happen, let it happen. After all, I'm not the first to even if I'm hyping my player, let it go. Even if
Yeah.
if everyone wants to fall, let everyone fall and all that. So that was how I just left it. I just left it there. I just muted the tweet and I left it. I muted it on all the even on platforms that I posted, I just muted the notification so it's not come for that. And that was it. Like I said, it was not really a comparison or anything. It was just me hyping. It was an hyping gone wrong. Let me just use that word. Hyping gone wrong. Actually, yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. That's the right word. Just hyping gone wrong. Not like it was meant to like say, let me say this so that people will come and fight and all. It was not meant like that. Because I've said worse things. I've actually said worse things. I've actually said worse controversial things, but they did not blow up. So the one I was just being goofy. I just being goofy. I think I can't up to now. I can't really remember what I was thinking when I made that video. Most times, because most times my videos are just me just bringing out my opinions. And it's not, I'm not really trying to be, what is the word now? I'm not trying to be correct, or I'm not saying,
yeah,
let me make myself correct. That's not my aim. I don't want to be correct. I don't care if I'm correct or not. I'm just saying whatever it is that comes to mind
yeah.
at that
What you
particular
feel?
time,
Yeah, yeah,
how I feel at that particular time. So long as I'm not instigating violence, I'm not committing any crime, that's fine by me. That's where I operate. I just say whatever it is that comes to mind. So when the video blew up, I was like, wow. And I just let it go. So it was not really meant to say anything. But then again, it was nice. It was nice. At least I knew, and now I know that people watch my content. They've just they've just not been no, it's actually an eye opener to me, because initially when I started posting I've made over 200 videos. I made over 200 videos. Over 200 videos. I don't really get that this thing, because I'm just like, maybe people are watching, maybe people are not watching. And one thing about me, I do it for fun.
yeah,
Most times when you do all these things, people feel that you are doing it to make money, or you are making one millions from it. I don't make money from it. Even the Twitter, whatever, that they say maybe you are doing it for Elon Musk money. How much even came from the tweets? I don't, it's, at least for now, I'm not making any shit from it. I'm just doing it because I like to talk about football. It's just something, it's just my hobby. It's not like most times I just dedicate 30 minutes of my day to make any video I post. Any of the video you see that I post on it's just 30 minutes of my day. It's not like and I don't even, it's not like I start thinking, or I start saying that this is what I want to do. I just wake up and for instance, I watched part of this Manchester United game, and I will say something about it. It's not that I have been thinking since yesterday, or it's what I saw in the game I'm talking about.
yeah,
It's not like
yeah,
I deep it or say I'm not trying to be a perfectionist. I don't want to
yeah,
be a perfectionist. I just want
yeah,
to say what I like about football.
yeah.
And when you are that type of person, definitely you say some things that will sound stupid
For sure,
later on.
for sure,
Will
for
sound
sure.
stupid later on. She understand? Because right
Yeah,
now, when I watch the Kupama video, I'm like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking when you posted this? That's what I asked myself. But then openly, I don't. When people start saying this thing, I will just be like, yeah, I said it. Then most time they come to my comments and they be like, are you not the guy that said Kupama? I say yes, I said it. Any problem? Because no, that I man up. Yeah, I said it. I said it and on. Just what do you want? Just what do you want to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do about it, you can just say I don't know ball. No problem. Maybe tomorrow I'll make another video that makes sense, and you'll be like, yeah, this guy knows ball.
I agree with
Because
what he said.
like so you understand or you agree with, because the thing is the when people disagree with you and all, they tend to like say all those type of things. Like I said, when we make all these videos, when we make all these things, there are some things that you say that gets me misconstrued, and maybe
Yeah,
because you did not use the right words at that particular time. Like I said,
absolutely. Yeah,
now it's not. I did not use the right word to actually make that Kopama video. The right word was not what was used. I could have used a better word to actually portray the message I was trying to portray. Like the message I was trying to portray was that in recent time, Kopama is like one of the best guy that burst into the scene at age 21.
yeah,
That was the message I was trying to pass. Not like there is no other person that is better than him at age 21. But now the message was not like I was saying there was no other person that is better than Obama at age 21. That was what the message was now like portraying. But in my head, what I was trying to say was that the there's no person that has like in recent time there's no person that has busted into the scene at age 21, because all the people that they were not bringing Cristiano Ronaldo, Owen, Rooney, all those guys, come on, before they got to age 21 they played at least like 2 to 3 seasons. They
yeah.
had they and they
And we knew
like
them as
Rooney.
youngsters. Yeah,
Yes, when Rooney, for instance, when he even started playing, I think at age 19 or
yeah.
was it 19 or
No, I
even
think
16? I can't
16,
remember.
16.
16, yeah, 16. 16. So then before he even The experience that he had at age 21 is what some people will have at age 28. One people will have at age 27. Like someone like the experience that we only will have at 21 that is what Kopama will be having maybe when he's 26 or 27.
Yeah.
Share understand. So it's just the way. So like I said, it's just what comes with when you put yourself out there and all.
Yeah.
Sometimes you use the wrong words. You use the wrong words and you're like and I don't have I don't have a press what is it called? I could not give a press meeting to say
Conference.
okay you people are misconstruing me no this and all because and you know one thing about Twitter where a blog is if you start to explain you are just like digging a bigger hole for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for spending the time with
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
And
Okay.
I definitely admire your consistency
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
amount of videos you put out. Hopefully, another time, if you get the time, we can do this again.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
guys for joining
Sure.
us. I will see you next time.